If you have to send in one or a team of the bacteriophages, do particular companies have the IP in particular phages? So, for instance, one company might have bacteriophage A, B, and C, which targets bad bugs X, Y, and Z, and another one has a different range.
So it's difficult to get a patent on life, and most of these bacteriophage are naturally occurring viruses. So this presents a potential IP problem for companies. So this brings me to C3J Therapeutics, because what they're doing is they're using genetic engineering to improve the natural phage antimicrobial activity by broadening the host range, preventing resistance and expressing beneficial payloads such as biofilm degrading enzymes and antimicrobial peptides. So this approach can do several things. It can provide strong patent positions. It can overcome that narrow spectrum of activity of each phage, and it looks like it's the most innovative of the phage companies out there. The rest primarily use naturally occurring phage, which, as I said, may present some difficulties with patent positions. Normally, you can get a patent on something if you can demonstrate a novel effect, so it may be possible. But in January this year, as I said, Amplify merged with C3J Therapeutics, and Amplify have a phase 1-2 ready natural phage candidate, which targets bacteremia, and C3J have a synthetic phage candidate that is poised to enter phase 1 development later this year. So the combined company now will have a very large natural phage library to choose from to be able to then go and modify it to generate new IP. So I think that's a very interesting company to watch in this space. Intralytics currently has 2 human therapeutic products in various stages of development, and they're using, they used it to treat infected wounds in a clinical trial in Texas, but they don't yet have any products available for human therapeutics. They appear to be a little more focused on food and veterinary applications, along with an interesting probiotic approach for microbiome modulation. That's an interesting little space to watch, but it's a fairly niche space. I think the big winner in this will be a novel treatment to overcome or to kill multi-drug resistant bacteria. I think that's the major economic benefit for this technology. Adaptive phage therapeutics that I mentioned earlier, they've got a process whereby it's really personalised medicine, where they select the phage that will kill the strain of bacteria that's infecting the patient, and if the patient becomes resistant to that, then they'll go back to their extensive library and pick out another phage to go in. So it's a sequential approach that sounds okay, but they won't only do it within 24 hours, so it sounds like it could be quite an expensive exercise to me. So yeah, I think that of the companies in this space, and I think it's a really important human health space, and very interesting because of its total lack of adverse human effects, and its specificity for particular strains. I think the most interesting company in this is C3J Therapeutics, and I recommend to keep an eye on that company.
Do you think there could be scope for using it in preventative medicine? So is there a potential one day to be able to take your one pill filled with all the right bacteriophages?
Probably not, because I think you really need to wait until you've got, that wouldn't do you any harm, but the case for doing that is not strong, because you really need to work out what the bug that's affecting you is before you would resort to that. Its strength is as a treatment, not as a prophylactic.